Hi friends, I'm Teddy, the founder and CEO of a US-based company called HalfTusk, and in this video, I'll first explain why the traditional non-profit entities with philanthropy, charity, or volunteerism mindsets have utterly failed in global fight against poverty since World War II. I will then explain why our company, HalfTusk, and its hybrid for-profit business model with similar pay-it-forward kindness philosophy is well positioned to swiftly defeat the misuse of funds and inherent limitations associated with the traditional nonprofit charitable bodies. Let's start with understanding the problem. The three-dimensional characteristics of cycle of poverty is a powerful generational trap with those ensnared, constantly pressured to fight omnipresent corruption forces in their habitats, just to find basic food, reliable shelter against weather elements, and safe neighborhoods with clean water for their families. Once trapped, single mothers or parents along with their young and old children will be helpless against the pervasive corrupt forces dealing with drugs, alcohol, sex trafficking, loan sharks, gambling, and prostitution. The root causes of this no way out syndrome have been credited to sustained unemployment, ignorance, poor health, and disease. Inevitably, the children of the trapped families are unable to attend school since they must also earn daily income for their families to survive. This, in turn, becomes a nightmarish generational vicious cycle of poverty. But why have traditional charitable strategies been rendered useless and now considered irrelevant in our global fight against poverty? After all, in the US alone, US taxpayers have shelled out more than $23 trillion exclusively on anti-poverty programs in the past 50 years, and yet the unconditional war on poverty declared by President Lyndon B. Johnson in January 1964 has been deemed an abject failure. Let's put this ridiculously high spending amount, which does not even include Social Security or Medicare, in perspective. It is more than 3 times the cost of all US military wars since the American Revolution. Failed attempts to solve poverty can be attributed to 3 distinct overarching flawed practices to date. First, to date, war on poverty has been seen as a linear, one-dimensional system with bursts of short-term makeshift and often emergency solutions. But poverty is a non-linear, 3-dimensional problem requiring specific solutions for different countries. Quality healthcare, financial fitness, and generational upskilling signify the axes of the poverty's tightly coupled 3-dimensional system that is perpetually moving on a corruption-controlled conveyor belt. Secondly, global strategies to break the cycle of poverty since World War II have been both innovative and promising in theory and on paper during planning stages by the governments, international organizations, donors, and NGOs, non-governmental organizations, which employ a more bottom-up approach. But despite spending trillions of dollars to fight poverty, they all have failed during ground-level execution. The reason lies in the fact that the intended funds basically disappear in any meaningful way by the time they reach the poor in the impoverished regions. Corruption runs deep and wide, with many in the supply chain points learning and applying the art of providing solid paperworks to checkmark the required audits and KPIs. What's planned so well on paper is only credited as another good execution on paper, with either zero or negative progress seen in reality. The usual suspects who have benefited from majority of charitable and benevolent financial assistance entities are the corrupt government officials in charge of fund distribution, in addition to an army of non-official middlemen, including the landlords, neighborhood muscles, and power brokers. All have been fraudulently perfecting the art of siphoning most of the funding earmarked for the needy. The third and final reason for failure to solve poverty is the mindset of the wealthy and the powerful. Due to their inherent limitations, including the lack of individual and family level empowerment, all traditional nonprofit entities with philanthropy, charity, or volunteerism mindset have failed track records in solving poverty or helping to break the cycle of poverty. It all comes down to our flawed, century-long, misguided assumption that only wealthy donors with an army of educated and altruistic volunteers can impart wisdom to solve our most pressing societal challenges. How come nobody's ever questioned this glaring misassumption, which has been responsible for the well-paid experts lacking the basic living experience of the underserved and vulnerable? More importantly, What has really been accomplished other than the self serving optics that repeatedly showcase our endless attempts to just understand the problem of poverty or raising awareness for poverty? Now, let's discuss why HalfTusk is using a hybrid for profit business model to defeat poverty. As a social entrepreneur, I had to make an important decision regarding the structure of my company, HalfTusk. Finding myself immersed in one of them life imitating art scenarios, I was faced with one of those Shakespearean to be or not to be, that's the question, moments in my life. Should we have tried the traditional nonprofit route, or did it make more sense to embrace the competitive nature of for-profit path to achieve our main goal of offering sustainable, personalized solutions to break the vicious cycle of poverty for billions of earthlings, regardless of their habitats? HalfTusk focuses on the execution side of the plan, suited for various economic and political landscapes, which may require hybrid deployment of the successful top-to-bottom, bottoms-up, and across approaches. Hence, I decided to make HalfTusk an accountable for-profit center, flanked by 3 traditionally charitable nonprofit independent entities with focus on healthcare, employment, and certified training. All 4 entities work seamlessly together to provide and manage direct peer-based solutions for the globally underserved and vulnerable. In this manner, we will continue to work closely with the government entities, international organizations, NGOs, donors, and foundations while showcasing the mighty empowerment capabilities of HalfTusk's promising gamified everything ecosystem super app centered around our pragmatic, pay-it-forward, altruistic philosophy. At HalfTusk, we offer merged AI and blockchain solutions based on our gamified, pay-it-forward, altruistic philosophy. Our solutions have been designed to specifically break the cycle of poverty regardless of geographic and political landscapes. In our journey, we've been mindful of 2 facts. First, microfinance is not the catch-all solution for fight against poverty. Secondly, the role of the NGOs are limited to only supporting those projects funded by government and international organizations, since the skill set and organizational structures of the NGOs are inadequate at taking the business ideas that can be materialized into a tangible reality for the underserved segment of global population. I am most grateful to my team at HalfTusk and the dedicated like-minded organizations, foundations, and philanthropists, which value my vision to build a sustainable, direct, one-way bridge from impoverished regions to normal living standards through empowerment of hundreds of millions of the underserved and vulnerable segments of the global population. Our transparent AI-centric solutions with gamified paid-forward kindness philosophy provides ample opportunities and incentives for not only the extreme poor, but also MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises, students, and working poor or paycheck-to-paycheck segments of the population. With our highly scalable, unique, direct, peer-based everything ecosystem super app, we are poised to bring a little hope and happiness for the hundreds of millions who have been trapped in the generational cycle of poverty. For our willing users, HalfTusk's free of charge direct peer-to-peer everything super app will guarantee financial fitness through our industry agnostic gig economy platform, quality healthcare using our telemedicine platform, expeditiously safe on-demand medicine delivery using our Q-commerce platform, and certified upskilling using our training platform. Our journey is not for the faint of hearts, but I am hoping that my generation and the future of humanity will someday appreciate our valiant effort culminating in decisive victory on war against poverty.